Hello, my name is Veronica, and this is my Girl Scout Gold Award on We Are Responsible. As the Lorax once said, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Let's all join the green side to raise our voice and not the sea level, and to remember that there is no planet B. Student gardens provide not only beauty and food, but knowledge that cannot be gained anywhere else than hands-on. Gardens can represent many different things. Flowers can be grown and sold, such as what they do at Elk Grove High School. Their floral department sells their flowers for weddings and other events, all done by students. Butterfly gardens can be planted to attract these delicate, beautiful insects. Food gardens can offer an abundance of fresh fruits and vegetables to be served in cafeterias. Memory gardens are also utilized to reflect those who have passed. Elk Grove also has a community garden that is ran by the Community and Education Center and is governed by those that volunteer. According to their website, Gardeners of the Grove, there are 80 planting pots rented to neighborhood gardeners to grow their own food, as well as donate fresh produce to the Elk Grove Food Bank. They also have garden tours that they do throughout the year on different things. Elk Grove also has a nonprofit volunteer group called Elk Grove Greener Gardens, which tells their fellow community members water-wise and river-friendly practices and principles to help citizens of Elk Grove and other local communities create aesthetic, sustainable landscapes that reduce impacts on the environment and local watershed. Franklin Elementary School's Garden Club also sponsors a garden in Elk Grove. During the year, everyone volunteers their time to educate the students that are grades K through 6 on gardening projects in the school's garden plots. Our school is starting its first garden, and in the future we'll have a vegetable garden for the culinary classes. My club, which is the Environmental Club, is starting our school's first student garden. We plan to do edible foods so that what we grow will end up being put into the foods that are served in our cafeteria. I actually also live in a food desert. If you don't know, a food desert is defined as an urban area in which it is difficult to buy affordable or good quality fresh food. There is limited access to affordable and nutritious food. My town is a food desert because we only have a market, which it's sometimes expensive, and it mainly has things such as like snack and alcohol. There is absolutely no fresh vegetables or fruits. Gardens are all across the world for many different reasons. Japanese gardens have things such as water, stones, lanterns, bridges, plants such as lotus and bonsai trees, fish such as carps and koi, etc. Botanical gardens are abundant and they grow a variety of species based on the native area. Some of these gardens preserve rare and unique examples. Victory gardens were popular during World War II when food was scarce in the United States. Community gardens are a growing trend. Farm to fork is spreading up everywhere. People are realizing the importance of fresh fruits and vegetables. Michelle Obama actually started a garden at the White House, and she wrote a book about it called American Growth, which I recommend that you guys all read. And in the book, she talks about the kitchen garden at the White House that she planted on the South Lawn, as well as gardens throughout America. She shares her struggles as well as her joys as she experimented and grew a multitude of produce. She also talks about a bunch of gardens that are through the country, as I said, and according to the Penguin Random House website, which is her publicator, some of the ones that she really talks about and is fascinated about are, like, for example, Houston office workers who make the sidewalk bloom, a New York City school that created a scented garden for the visually impaired, a North Carolina garden that devoted its entire harvest to those in need, and other stories and communities that are transforming lives as well as the health of their citizens. Aquaponics is another gardening practice that works well in limited spaces. Aquaponics is a system of agriculture in which the waste produced by farmed fish or other aquatic animals supplies nutrients for plants grown hydrophonically, which then in turn purifies the water. Aquaponics combines both hydroponic and aquaculture systems while capitalizing their benefits as well as eliminating their drawbacks. Some of the ways in which aquaponics changes the game of gardening as well as agriculture would be as the Aquaponics source website says. Aquaponics uses only 1/10 of the water of soil-based gardening and even less water than hydroponics or recirculating aquaculture. Waist-high aquaponic gardening eliminates weeds, backstrain, and small animal access to your garden. It is a natural ecosystem, so no harmful petrochemicals, pesticides, or herbicides can be used. And aquaponic systems can be put anywhere, outside, in a greenhouse, in your basement, in the living room, etc., by using a grow light and a space, and you can turn any space into a productive garden. Disney also had a campaign called Pass the Plate, where their main goal was to get kids to be more responsible for their plates and to eat healthier. In one of the videos, they talked about starting a garden and utilizing items to reuse them as pots for plants such as shoes, cups, etc. They also showed ways in which the kids could put them on fences or make a walkway to make it more interactive, cute, and extremely aware of the available space. Seattle also has a public food forest in which anyone can come enjoy fresh produce. The idea is that anyone would be allowed to come and pick and eat what they please. People in cities are not left out because many areas are now growing rooftop gardens. Lots of people also do herb gardens on their windowsill or have made pots out of old items and put them in decorative ways, whatever was in capacity of their available space. Colleges are realizing gardens are a sanctuary from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. While I was going around UCLA, I went to the garden center. In it, there was a multitude of different types of benches, tables, chairs, etc., scattered amongst the garden grounds that were dedicated for students to come and do their homework, hang, get a nice break from their college work, etc. The moment I walked through the fence of the garden, you could all of a sudden not hear the bustling of the city and the busyness of the rest of the campus. It was extremely quiet and peaceful. All you could really hear was the gurgling stream running through the garden and the murmuring of people chattering with their friends or peers. You can also use old rain boots, old bikes, old dishes as pots for plants. You can even try planting things at home, such as herbs, which are things such as parsley, mint, thyme, dill, rosemary, basil, coriander. You can, excuse me, you can plant vegetables like kale, lettuce, spinach, tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, cauliflower, and you can also do fruits like peaches and strawberries, oranges, lemons, apples, etc. Make sure that you research what is usually grown in your area or what flourishes best where you live, because that will be the idealistic produce that you would want to grow. Also make sure that when you are planting that you add native plants, otherwise you'll be introducing an invasive species to a new area. So for school gardens, there are a lot of good books that you can go out and buy to help you start one. The one that I got for my club is this book. It's just How to Grow a School Garden. It's a complete guide. It's for parents and teachers, but it's very useful as well, especially if you're running a club. Some of the things it has in here is there's example of other gardens that other people have done throughout the U.S. So this is like a map of one from a biology institute. There's like checklists for stuff that you should have in your tool shed. They show examples, like here's what I was talking about for the reusing your like shoes and that as pots for plants. It's very effective. It's got ways for fundraising, different things you can plant, how to make a healthy outdoor classroom. It's got examples of food waste and that you can like feed it to worms and stuff, and that can help. Depends on if you're doing hot or cold, which I get into later in another video. It's also got like how to manage your classes, different seeds that are really good, how to deal with like land scarcity. It's also got activities that you can teach to others, as well as like recipes. So here are two examples of recipes. One's this edible flour, another is a salsa that you can make. But this is like a really good book. It's got everything from planning the project to getting fundraisers, to planting and harvesting, designing and preparing your space, cooking with what you make, teaching it, how to teach it throughout the whole year round. I really I recommend books like this one. This is one of the best that I've went through. So yeah. Now with all this information that I've given you, I want you to go get out and grow. So thank you for watching my video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And remember, the environment will only get better if you do something and if you care. Otherwise, it will continue to degrade. There is no planet B.